Today was another pretty good day, but also a pretty long day. Set out from Riviere-du-Loup pretty early in the morning. I woke up earlier today than I have for quite a while, which I think is more or less because of the time change. As I head east, the clock moves around on me, and what would have been 8:30 just the other day was a 7:30 start this morning, so it was good to get out and get moving pretty early. It was a good 4 hour drive from Montreal or from Riviere-du-Loup to Montreal. Well, it was supposed to be anyways. It was a pretty bumpy highway in spots and lots of construction, and the traffic just kept getting worse and worse as I got towards the city. I've been kind of spoiled for the past little while with the East Coast driving. Even the most major cities that I could go to out there, the driving is easy compared to Montreal. So as I got closer, there was more and more traffic. End up getting stuck behind people and people passing me all the time because I'm just putting along at a good steady pace. And at one point it started raining a little bit, so as the rain got harder and harder, I just decided not to mess with it and pulled off the side of the road for a little while to a rest stop. Spent a good 2 hours there just waiting it out, and I'm glad I did. The traffic going into the city was bad enough with clear weather. I would not have wanted to do it in the rain. Pretty nice views along the way as I went. Flat farmland and trees with rolling mountains off in the distance. I considered for a minute that I might go over to Mont Saint Hilaire and give it a second try and see how the kitty does, but I didn't really feel like doing that. So she didn't get out of the truck a whole lot today. Feel kind of bad about that. When we finally got to Montreal through this slow crawl of traffic, I ended up meeting up with Maggie and Leo from last time, and the kitty cat got out there anyways in Maggie's house to play around a little bit. Maggie's dog, Mia, was just as good as you could ever expect a dog to be with a cat around. Really, she was gentle and wanted to play clearly, but understood that the tiny little cat can't really play the way she wants to. So the two of them, at first, kitty cat hissed a little bit and made a fuss, acting tough, but within 5 minutes, the two of them were smelling each other and getting along good. It was so hot today going into the city, though, and all this slow stop and go traffic. Eventually, with all the stop and go traffic, the truck kind of started smoking under the hood again, the way that it hasn't done since Montreal pretty well. So I was in contact with Leo for part of the day, back and forth, figuring out, like telling him, okay, I'm getting close to the city, and him telling me, like, get a hold of us when you're here, sort of thing. So I thought I knew my way back to the part of town where we met last time, and I was following the GPS directions, but it kept leading me down dead ends and construction zones, detours, and the truck smoking under the hood like that. It freaked me out so much that I was thinking about just getting on the highway and continuing on and getting out of the city before it ruined my truck. But anyways, I stopped at a McDonald's parking lot here to get my bearings and figure out what I'm doing, try and get a hold of Leo again because I hadn't heard from him in a while. And then it started raining a bit, cooled right off. I got a hold of Leo, found out the right address, and as I drove off towards them, I seen this beautiful rainbow right right in the direction that I wanted to go. Gave me some hope. And after sitting at the McDonald's for a bit, the truck had cooled off a little bit, and then the rain cooled the temperature off a bit, so I was finally able to make my way back down to the right part of St. Catherine Street. I think I had St. Catherine East before, and I was supposed to be going to St. Catherine West, or something silly like that. So eventually, I did get to meet up with them. It was good to see them again. They were so kind to me last time. The worst part after here was just finding a parking spot. I had to loop the block a time or two, and then saw this one tight spot just almost right out in front of Maggie's apartment. So I did a really rough parallel park. You don't It's hard to do these left-hand parallel parks cuz I hardly ever get on one-way streets. I had to pull back out and get my angle proper, but managed to squeeze my way in there and then went up for a good little visit. Kitty Cat liked meeting the dog once they'd got along and had a couple of beers and chatted for a bit. And yeah, I love Montreal. This place is a little bit difficult to deal with sometimes, but what an awesome city. Tomorrow, get back down the road and go to Ottawa, see my buddy Aaron again, and soon I'll be home.